Good morning all. This is day 9 of our trip north, our big trip. We left Roma this morning about 9 o'clock. The time now is 11:15. We travelled from Roma up to a place called Morvan at the moment. We've stopped here just to have a bit of a break. Morvan is near on 200 kilometres from Roma, and Roma is about 500 kilometres from Brisbane. They don't call Roma outback, but I can guarantee you can see it from there. We had a great time in Roma, and when we do the circle, we'll actually be spending some more time in Roma before we head back home, and that's on our southern trip in a few months' time. But we're stopped here just to have a bit of a break and have a little look around. Travelling over the last couple of 200 kilometres from Roma, I've overtaken my first road train in the caravan. A little bit exciting, a little bit scary, but I guess it's one of the things that you have to do when you're on the road or on these sorts of roads. Lots of road trains here. So we're going to be heading off now, and our next stop will be Augathella. Augathella is maybe another 150 kilometres, and that will chalk up 300 kilometres. We prefer to limit our daily travelling intake or output to about 300, 350. It's not so much the driving is hard, it's just that we need to get out and stretch the legs and have a look around. So Augathella is one of those places where we want to have a look around, and so we will stop overnight in Augathella, and then we'll go on from there. Okay, we've turned up in Augathella, country town of Augathella. As you can see, the streets are pretty wide here. Great for turning the caravan round and so forth. That's pretty good. But there's not too many people around. We've stopped here because we want to just have something to eat, stretch our legs and have a bit of a walk around and have a look at the area. We haven't been here before, and then we'll have some lunch, have a little look around. There's a lovely park here, and we're going to sit down and have some lunch, just stretch our legs, walk around, and then we'll move on to Tambo. Tambo is where we're going to stop for the night. At least one night at this stage, but we might change our minds as far as that's concerned. We might actually stay 2. I think I mentioned earlier that we like to drive about 300 kilometres a day, maximum 300 to 400 kilometres a day. So far we've done well over 300 kilometres from Roma, and by the time we get to Tambo it will be closer to 400, and that's a pretty good day's travelling. We're about 1 kilometre and a bit off the main, it's now called the Lansdowne Highway. So we'll take a break here, have a bit of a look around, and get a move on off to Tambo. Tambo's about another 120 kilometres from here. This is the Anzac Memorial in Augathella. What you're looking at there is the 1939 to 1945 Roll of Honour. This is the Great War Roll of Honour, 1914, 1918. And over here is the Korean War and the Vietnam War. As you can see, there was only one resident who went to the Korean War. But over here, you can see in the Great War, there was a great many of the local residents who passed away or were killed in action. And the same in the Second World War, 1939 to 1945. Again, one of the things that we find staggering is the number of people from these small communities who served their country and were killed in action, and what it does to these local communities.
This pine tree is a direct descendant from the original lone pine at Gallipoli, and it was raised from a seed and transported to here. It was sent home by Lance Corporal Benjamin Smith in 1915 and is dedicated to the memory of all Australians and New Zealanders at Gallipoli, especially Percy Graham, who came from this area. So that's rather neat.